One of the things that makes the Angewandte special is that here we can spend 3 years working with the students. Because we work with the students for 3 years, we can go into great depth with them into building issues and contemporary architectural issues and broader cultural topics. Instead of having a short period of time to work with one topic, we can really work on a range of topics in depth so that it leads to a very comprehensive result for the students. I treat my studios vertically. So students that come in their first year are mixed together with students that have been here 3 years, and they all feed on each other. So the younger students from international backgrounds are bringing in all kinds of new ideas and concerns. And the students that are here are also ramping those people up very quickly into the issues that we're looking at in the studio. I've been here, I believe, 12 years, and we've seen a lot of change and development. When I first came, we really focused on new technologies of design. Over this 12 years, we're now looking at new technologies of construction and new technologies of motion and movement and dynamics. And we can be very nimble and agile and change the topics year to year. The structure here is very fluid. So when I think something's interesting, we can really shift our focus onto whatever topics that are current. That when a student graduates, they should graduate with a project. And the project should be intellectual and design concern that's particular to them. And at the master's thesis and diploma reviews, we always expect, large-scale models, plans and sections, a very well-developed building proposal, but also a strong theoretical and conceptual agenda.
The Angewandte because it gives me a great opportunity not only to design but also to fabricate and produce the specific designs, and also to work with the constant exchange of physical and digital techniques.
I really appreciate the Angewandte for its collaborative spirit, not only in between the students of architecture but also in exchange with other disciplines. So we have great opportunities to do projects not just in architecture but also designing with, for example, industrial designers or fashion designers. And there's so many resources that we can use, and I think there's not many other schools where all of this comes together. So it's a really unique climate that I enjoy very much.
I came to teach here now more than 10 years ago. I don't know, maybe 12 years ago. Well, I was invited by Wolf Briggs, and it seemed like an interesting school because it had a master class, and you have the students for a period of time. So by the end of 5-6 years, you have tremendous amount of expertise and knowledge, and I think it was a very good system. And the results have been really amazing over the past 10 years. Students are motivated here because, of course, there is a reward sometimes, but also they know if they don't make this effort, they don't get the results. You know, there's some places people think, oh well, I'll just get by and do something looking like that. But I think they know they're going to get hammered in the final reviews or thesis reviews. And also, I think when people really make an effort, they enjoy it. It's exhausting, of course, but it's the most important thing is that when the people are learning something, they enjoy it.
Well, my name is Pavel Zeldovic, and I come from Moscow, and I studied architecture in Moscow for 6 years. And life in Angewandte, studying Angewandte, this new experience, I always took it, and I still take it as my second chance.
My name is Indra Umbrasaite. I'm coming from Lithuania, and I was studying before architecture and interior design. And somehow, after graduating and starting working in a field of architecture, I realized that the creativity is so small, and I need to look for something special in this field.
So welcome to the Hadid Klasse here in Vienna University of Applied Arts. We've been teaching this masterclass for the last 12-13 years, and we've gone through the whole panoply of scales and programs which architecture, urbanism, interior design as well as industrial design offers. Working with new computational techniques and tools under the auspices of a parametricist heuristics to recognize these new opportunities of developing much more adaptive and fluid tectonic systems, and also discussing downstream constructability of these complex geometries and really nearly real-time adaptation of design to requirements.
Hani Rashid, professor here at the Angewandte School of Architecture in Vienna. I'm teaching at the school here a studio dealing with the future of cities and the future of architects at work in cities and how we work within a kind of collective means to produce new spaces, new ways of living, new ways of making form, new ways of making architecture and space. So what's behind me here in the space, in my studio, is a master plan for an expo of the future to be constructed in the Gobi Desert, and it's a master plan that deals with various components of life in the future, ways in which our vehicles will be run by automated GPS and robotic systems, the ways that we will have health facilities and places to deal with the body in terms of altering our physical states, both by virtue of let's say, added features, appendages, drugs, and other things that might come into play. So what is the future of architecture at a kind of global level? Architecture is changing dramatically and rapidly every day as a discipline. It's being very much influenced by other disciplines and other territories, everything from the sort of high-end of the sciences, engineering, of course, capabilities of materials, to the other side, which is social networking, crowdsourcing, the ability to actually share information quickly across data fields. So those kind of parameters or those kind of brackets on the discipline are exerting an interesting pressure, let's say, on this discipline that hasn't changed a great deal really in a long, long time.
My name is Melanie Kotz. I study architecture in Studio Rashid. And I study here because there is a permanent and direct discourse with people that in my eyes have the potential to change the world. And I guess that's what art and architecture is about.